So yeah, chaos, awesome. I mean, for my money, my story is basically about the same as you, GD. I mean, my parents bought it thinking it'll be used for schoolwork. Before the days of Microsoft Office and everything was invented and put onto PCs in the first place. So yeah, I spent about a week learning to program the screen to change to about four or five different colours, and it was straight in with the games. So yeah, that really worked for them, didn't it?
I remember when they first sold it, it was actually supplied with a couple of, I think it was Tazword, and a couple of other sort of office packages as such. Nothing that you could ever actually do anything with, I don't think. But yeah, they definitely had a few sort of word processing programs, albeit very basic. With the intention that people would use it for work and schoolwork and everything else. But like you say, the games were just sort of took over and it became a games console, really.
It did, yeah. And it's I don't know about you, but last count when it finally got trading in for, actually I went straight up to a Mega Drive. I kind of skipped the whole Master System and the NES. Unfortunately, I've learned from my mistakes and got one now. Oh mate, call myself a retro presenter. I've learned from my mistake now. Obviously, I've owned just about everything that's been released, but at the time, the Spectrum was that good. We were relatively poor, to be honest. So at the time, so. Was on the Spectrum quite a lot, and it got to the stage where you could go down with pocket money. £2 would buy you about two or three games even, on tape, and it was just a revolution, wasn't it? I think last count I had something like 150, 200 games. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you could build up a massive collection of games because the games were quite cheap. One thing as well, you used to be able to get compilations, which are very, very rarely done now. You could sometimes get 8, 9, 10 games on one cassette, but it's something that's not really done now.
No, it's not. Forgive me, I'm just looking a different direction there, GD. Fill in!
Yeah, well, I mean, can I say?
How professional am I?
You're supposed to be the producer, moobit.
I'll produce it. Don't worry. I'll produce my ass off after this. You'll not see the seams.
Yeah, I'm sure. It'll run just like a Spectrum 48K game.
Like that, you mean? Take 4 hours to play. Well,
We'll have to reload it.
Well, it's been done before. Little in-joke for the GDs out there. What they'll probably see is where I'm pointing here. There's like a million LOLs just appearing right now. But yeah, you were saying, go on.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, compilations. I mean, one of the most famous ones was they sold 1 million, and they had 4 games that racked up 1 million sales. But the unique thing about it was, and it's something that I don't think would ever happen again, is that it was 4 different companies that had 4 different games on it. It was Ocean, US Gold, I think it was Konami, and another company, I can't remember which. But 4 different companies all joining together to create this one cassette, and the profits were split 4 ways. It's something that's just never going to happen anymore. I don't think anymore.
No, not really. I mean, we're lucky to get Sonic on a Nintendo console, for example. Never mind anything else. God, Ocean. They used to produce some awesome games, man. Ocean. Loved the thing.
Yeah.
Never-ending Story is my first Ocean game, as I remember. One of the text-based adventures based on the film. I don't know if any UGDs there will remember that one.
They did Batman as well, didn't they? I think the movie version of Batman.
They did, yes, they did. Well, I think that's one of their main things, wasn't it? I'm actually going to probably segue in some research in a minute and find out what happened to Ocean, because I did have that on top of my head, but it's not right in front of me the setup I've got right here where I'm filming the first show. So I'll stick some links in the doobly-doo for that. But yeah, they did that. In fact, Batman's one of the games I actually remember. I'll stick some footage on in a minute for you guys who remember it. And talking about my own personal favourite game, which actually I think still holds up today, probably could be released on the DS or something with slightly updated graphics, is a game called Trapdoor. Now
Brilliant.
that was yeah. You remember playing that yourself. That is also on the Spectrum website that I'll be putting in the show notes for you. But yeah, it was a good stuff. I mean, it was a good game based on a awesome cartoon, and all you whippersnappers out there, get on YouTube, type in Trapdoor, you will not be disappointed. It's kind of like Aardman, but kind of the early days, as it were. Yeah, way before its time. Brilliant show, really funny. And yeah, I mean, what was that? 1986, I believe. Trapdoor. That was Piranha Games. That one, as I remember. Written by the great Don Priestley. If you guys remember that, he did Trapdoor. He did Meteoroids on the Spectrum. He did the Benny Hill game. If anyone remembers that, Benny Hill's Madcap Chase. That was an awesome one as well. You need to look out for that one. And another game which you can tell is his, called Popeye, which is my mum's favourite game, funnily enough. One of my earliest memories of the Spectrum is getting my mum addicted to games, and even today she still plays Popeye to this day on that website, which is just amazing. It shows you the playability of the things even back then in 1985,
Well, actually, you're saying that, my mum actually used to play Chucky Egg.
Yeah.
Which was a great game in itself.
Yeah.
Used to have Chucky Egg, Chucky Egg 2, both great games.
Oh yeah, man. That's part of the when we do a proper Spectrum expose and actually decent good facts, and I'll have a special show for that. That's obviously one of the games we'll be covering, along with of course the Dizzy series, which is one of the biggest ones on the Spectrum, as I'm sure GD will remember. Did you ever play a Dizzy, GD? Did you have any of those ones?
Yeah, I think I've pretty much had all the Dizzy games at some point or another. You had Treasure Island Dizzy, Fantasy Island Dizzy. I mean, there was all pretty similar games, but there was all. I mean, it was sort of a platformer that, again, sort of a bit ahead of its time, really.